All right, what's up, everybody? Great day to be a Cane fan today. I mean, every day is a great day to be a Miami Hurricane, but today especially. Anytime we land a new recruit or anything like that, anytime some good news comes in, it makes it just that much better. So, of course, as you saw in the title, as you probably heard at some point today on Twitter or on Instagram or whatever, if you've been following it, Quan Lee earlier today announced his commitment to the University of Miami, which is huge because we've been waiting for a little bit now for our little class of one recruit for 2022 to grow to 2 and 3 and 4, and now hopefully this avalanche that we were predicting after Ja'Cory Brown got recruited to commence. Now the 3rd and the 4th and more will come in as we get through June, which is what I'm thinking will happen. So here we are. It's we finally got our second recruit. It's Quan Lee, very talented wide receiver out of Gainesville, Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look that up really quick so I'm not wrong. Let's see, Quan Lee, out of Gainesville, Florida, FW Buckholz High School, 6 foot, 175 pound. Right now rated as a 3-star, number 88 overall player in Florida, according to the 247 composite. Top 100 player in the state. That's pretty solid. But if you are like me and you've watched Quan Lee's tape, as my boy Flo always says, pretty much every week, tape don't lie. I have watched his tape very closely because I knew his announcement was coming up soon. This kid should have way more than 3 stars next to his name. He is very talented, plays with that chip on his shoulder. I mean, you can tell, plays his ass off, runs almost picture perfect routes from what I saw in the film, and great hands, very reliable. He can go up and get it. This dude can play. I mean, I think should be more of a 4-star than a 3-star and ranked a little higher than number 88 in the state of Florida overall. But either way, very talented player. Kid's a dog. This is more. We need more of these kind of guys. And if you've been following him on social media, especially on Twitter, the dude has something to prove. And that's what Butch Davis built this team on in the late 90s. Guys who had a chip on their shoulder and had something to prove and wanted to bring the University of Miami back. So hopefully this is one of those guys. All right, start bringing up some comments here. David, what's going on, man? So got a few people in the chat already. So how are we feeling? How is the Canes family, Canes Nation, how are we feeling today? We obviously we landed probably the most important recruit of our class a few months back in Ja'Cory Brown. It was kind of quiet after that, but I think as we all predicted, things are going to pick up now in the months of June and July. We finally landed that second recruit after weeks of nothing and missing on a couple of guys. So how are we feeling? Now that we landed that second guy, how do you guys feel? You feel relief? You feel like, oh, okay, we got the monkey off our back. Now they're going to start rolling in. Or not impressed yet. I need to see more. How are you guys feeling? Tell me in the comments. I'll tell you, probably because it just happened today, I'm feeling major relief right now. Not that I was that worried, honestly, but people were talking about it so much. It was starting to become a thing in my head. Like, man, what if we go into late June, early July, and we only have like 2 or 3 guys? That was a thought in my mind, not a concern. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it was like, what if? Quan was my favorite in this class. Love this tape. I love this tape too. Like I said, he should have way more than 3 stars next to his name, 100%. Let's see who else we got here. Javier, what's going on, Javier? But no, David, I agree. I love this tape. He is one of my probably top 5 favorite targets in this class. Honestly, he was one of those under the radar guys that started becoming, more popular in the in the recruiting world and social media. His name started to come up a lot more. I love the pickup. This is huge. There's a couple other guys that I would love for us to pick up in this class that if we get these 2 or 3 more guys, I will be very satisfied. and I'll go into that in a little bit. Randy Noel, what's going on, man? He's always in the chat. Very, very loyal. Thank you. Hey, John, what's your opinion? He's committed, but still taking visits. Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the recruiting game. That's no different from any other year. We've had a lot of commits over the years. They commit, but, you know, they're going to, I mean, are you sure that is the case? That he's still taking visits? Because I'm not 100% sure about it. I mean, maybe you know something I don't. I'm not sure. But if he is, I mean, that's happened a lot in the past. I'm not too concerned. I think now more than ever, I think guys are going to stick to their commitment. And Coach Manny's not going to take a guy that's not going to, you know, at least 80 or 90% sure going to stick to his commitment. That's my opinion on it, Randy. Sigmund, what's up? I'm bringing the news, man. We're here. We're talking some Canes. Well, yes, exactly, David. Visits are free vacations. Look, you got to remember, these guys, these young men, kids, whatever you want to call them, they are 16, 17 years old. All right. They're going into their senior year of high school. They are not ever going to, most of them are never going to be wined and dined like this ever again in their life. A select few, if they go on to the NFL in a few years, might, but most of them won't. So they're soaking it in. They're enjoying the process, as they should. Most of them are never going to go through something like this again. So I don't blame him. He said so. Oh, okay. Did not catch that. Manny made a rule, commit no other visits. He did. Yes, I do remember Coach Manny making that rule at some point a couple of years ago. He said, you know, if you're committing to Miami, I prefer you don't take visits. Again, it's a couple years ago when he first announced this. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know what agreement he and Quan came up to, but right now he's committed to Miami, and that's great news. Yes, thank you, sir. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. I would take more of a receiver and load up at O-line and DB. Yes, those are two very important positions, and two positions, O-line and DB, that in South Florida and the state of Florida in general, we are very it's a lot of talent here in the state at those two positions. And there's a couple guys we're going after out of state as well. By the way, I noticed the video does lag a little bit, guys. I do apologize. I think it's this green screen. I'll figure that out for next time. Let's see. Old Kane, John Lee, and spells two kids with talent, but somehow the big schools are ignoring them. Good for us, but a bit surprising. Yeah. I mean, they're not going to ignore them for long, honestly. I think schools are going to try to come after Quan Lee for sure, as you know, over the years, we recruit somebody, and this is something we've been trying to change, where we get guys on board too early, and you know, it's kind of a loose commitment, but then they start visiting Bama, LSU, whoever, Ohio State, Clemson, and they start grabbing our guys. So teams are going to come after Quan Lee. Teams are going to go after Jacoby Spells. So trust me, that's not gonna last too long. But to answer your question, or to address your comment, Javier, they're probably going to take two more receivers, if I'm being honest. Or in my opinion, I would say they got a more of a speed type of receiver or more of a balanced receiver. I mean, he's 6 foot 175. He'll probably bulk up to 180, 185. He reminds me of a slightly smaller, I was going to say a slightly smaller Amon Richards, but I don't think that's a good comparison. Maybe more like he reminds me a little bit of Dorsett. Maybe he doesn't run the 4.2 that Dorsett does, but similar body type, runs the same way, but a little more aggressive. I really like Quan Lee. I think he's an interesting prospect. I think we're going to get him, maybe go after a smaller, speedy guy like a Mike Jackson. And then maybe a big target like a Jaden Gibson, or, you know, someone like that, or an Isaiah Horton. So I think we're going to go after a smaller, speedier guy, and then a guy with size. I think we'll go after three, or instead of a guy with size, maybe like Marcus Peterson, I think is his name. There's this dude. I can't. You know what? I'll look it up right now using my dual screens. Marcus Peterson. This young man, wide receiver out of, one second, hold please. Columbia High School, Lake City, Florida. Okay, this dude's 6'4", 200 pounds. Big target, but could come in as a tight end if we grab him. That's just one thought out there. If it's a bigger guy, maybe they switch him to tight end. But yeah, I think we take at least one more, maybe two more receivers. And then you're right, load up at offensive line. Only school I know that will pull your Scully is Clemson. Yeah, I mean, Manny did come out with that rule. And again, who knows how much he's enforcing it behind closed doors. So, you know, the important thing is he's here. He's committed. Bergie, what's going on? Hey, Bergie, I know you're a Star Wars fan. Just wanted to show that to you. So Bergie, Quan has a nice upside to him. He will be a bit stronger, hopefully quicker as well. Don't get me wrong, he's fast, but now as he grows, hopefully the speed will hopefully advance as well. Yeah, man, I like his speed. He's not, again, a 4.2 like a burner, but he's fast. He'll get down the field in a hurry. Great route runner, I think, is what he is. He knows how to get open. He, in 2020, had 47 catches. 47 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 12 touchdowns. That, you don't see that too often from a high school wide receiver. I mean, that's tough to do. That's tough to do in college, really. 1,000 yards. And remember, every high school had a limited season in 2020, so that's crazy. Randy says, seems Jackson and Walker have pulled on us. Mike Jackson and, man, I'm drawing a blank on who Walker is. Remind me, there's so many recruits. Remind me the first name. Who are we talking about? Let's see. I love that Walk-On Johnson or Jackson in the spring game. He is big. Yeah, I really like Johnson too, man. He could be like another Daryl Langham for us, hopefully a little more reliable. Because I remember Daryl Langham, he would make the incredible game-saving catches or game-winning catches, but then in the Orange Bowl against Wisconsin, he had a couple of drops. He had one really bad one. I remember I was at the game, runs a quick slant, hits him right in the hands on third down, he drops it. Would have, we were trying to drive to take the lead in that game. So he had a few moments like that where he make the hard catch and drop the easy one. So hopefully Johnson is a little more reliable. Maybe he can crack that six-man rotation. So we'll see. I'm going to switch my avatar again. Yep. Randy's FSU decommit. Oh, yes. Yes. I know who you're talking about. Look, this recruiting thing is fluid, man. Guys will cool on us because they'll say, oh, I haven't really heard from the school much. And then they'll start hearing from them again, and then interest will pick back up. Just like, excuse me a second, I don't want to get the names wrong. Just like Devin Jackson, for example. The kid from Nebraska, that really talented outside linebacker. Is that who you're talking about, by the way, Randy? Love that walk-on or Jackson in the spring. Oh, no, he's thinking of a different Jackson, sorry. Yeah, like Devin Jackson, for example. I had David Franklin on my show last week. We were talking a little recruiting, and he heard that, for example, this very talented linebacker out of Nebraska, out-of-state kid, was interested in Miami. He put us in his top 8 or top 6, and then didn't hear from the school much. But then all of a sudden you see these edits, and interest is picking back up because they're reaching out to him again. So my point is, it's a very, very fluid thing. So what about that line? Yeah, was just talking about him. Yeah, so that's the dude I'm talking about. So the linebacker out of Nebraska, there are 2 linebackers that I love in this class. Well, 3. There's 3 linebackers I love in this class. I would love to take 3 total. But if in the 3 that we take, we get any 2 of this combination, Wesley Basaint, Devin Jackson, or Omar Graham Jr., if we get any 2 out of those 3, I'll be very happy. If one of those 2 is Wesley Basaint, I will be very, very, very happy. That's almost a must get. If you want to change this linebacker room in a hurry in the next 2 years, that's a guy you got to pick up. Chug Mo Beer, so reliable. What's going on, man? Hello, John. Great to catch you live. Smash the like button. Let's get the channel over 1,000 subs. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Exactly. Yep. And no, the DN who's talking Ohio State, Kenyatta Jackson. That's who you're thinking of. Yes. I haven't heard a lot regarding him recently. I heard, again, this is a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, which in recruiting is an eternity. That's a lifetime ago. Couple months ago, yeah, he's a huge Ohio State fan. Talks a lot about Ohio State. Says they reach out to him the most. He very likely, I'm not going to lie, very likely is going there. But I say very likely, knowing that this can change on a dime. You never know. They can go get another 5-star DN, and then Jackson's like, oh, well, maybe I take my talents to Coral Gables or to Clemson or the SEC. Who knows? But Kenyatta Jackson is, I'll spill my water there. Let's see, does my stuff still work? Okay, good. So yeah, Kenyatta Jackson, let me see what the situation is with him. 247, Chaminade Madonna. Yep, very much an Ohio State lean, just perusing 247 real quick. Ohio State or Clemson, I mean, that's going to be tough to compete with, to be honest. But that's what I'm hearing. He's very much an Ohio State lean. But yes, let's see who else. Okay, I agree, Javier. Linebackers, corners, DNs, mostly. Yeah, again, that seems to be those seem to be the strongest positions in recruiting in South Florida right now. It's not the greatest class as far as skill position players. And you know what? This thing is lagging way too much. Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. Let's see. One second, fam. Green screen off. All right, beautiful. No more lag. Awesome. So, yes, do you like Singletary or Fagan's the corner? Yeah, I like them both. I mean, again, at corner, it's very loaded. This particular class, I was just gonna say, it's not the greatest class for South Florida like skill position guys as it is in past years, but 2023 is going to be very different. But corner, man, like I was saying for linebacker earlier, if we get any combination of certain guys, like I was saying for linebacker, Omar Graham Jr., Wesley Bassane, Devin Jackson. If we get 2 out of those 3, I'm happy. If we get all 3, oh my God, that would be insane. Let's see. Love your show weekly, John. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. What program are you running for the green screen? Honestly, Terry, it's just it's a little feature that if you go to the settings in StreamYard, you can set it to green screen. And I had to move it aside because I put it behind me. I set the green screen and it just lags really bad. I gotta really figure that out. But this is much better, less of a headache. But so yeah, those are the guys out there at linebacker that I would love to have in this class. Corner, man, there's like 5 or 6 guys. You mentioned 2 of them. Max, what's going on, man? So yeah, Singletary, Fagans, Travell Mullen. Let's see who else. There's Earl Little. There's Kamari Rogers, Jacoby Spells. Right there, there's 6 guys. Honestly, if we get 3 or 4 of those 6 guys, I am ecstatic. I think that changes a lot of things in our cornerback room because that's been obviously a much talked about, very weak position as far as just like raw, pure talent and obviously development as well. for whatever reason. We've recruited at an elite level at safety, at running back, at the end, at times at wide receiver. But for whatever reason, linebacker, corner has not been the case. But this year can really change that because, I mean, there are so many guys we can go get. Jordan Allen, that's another one. Yeah, man, that's like seven corners out there that are all very talented. Again, you land 3 or 4 out of those 7, I'm good. Give me that plus Wesley Bassane plus what we have currently. Just fill the class with whoever else. Honestly, I'm good. Chris Graves, this young man that just, I think he just dropped his top 10 or something like that. And yeah, there's a lot of corners out there. If they really need to take advantage of this year and fix that cornerback issue. But that's at corner. So now, again, now that because we were kind of addressing it earlier in the video when there wasn't that many people on the chat. I'll ask you guys again, now that there's more people in the chat, how are we feeling today? How are we feeling about the new commit, Quan Lee? What do you guys think? Do you guys feel relief that, we finally got that second guy, the monkey's kind of off our back, we can, this class is going to get rolling now? Or are you like, man, not really impressed, I still need to see more from Manny, haven't seen enough this year? What do you guys think? Let me know. Birdie, I'm going to say that T-Rob will have a solid pull. And that's another thing. Remember, last couple of years, guys, we've been landing the James Williamses and the Avante Williamses of the world, and we were doing that without T-Rob. So imagine now with him. That's insane. I mean, I'm very excited. I have no doubt that we're going to land at least 4 really, really, really good corners in this class, and that's going to put a lot of people's minds at ease moving forward. I'm hyped. Just got done recording clip. Oh, nice. I can't wait for those. Guys, if you're not aware, I'm sure a lot of you are because a lot of you guys are on Twitter. Max drops these clips from NCAA 2014, the most recent iteration of the EA game. He'll modify, create a player basically, and he'll show practice clips in the video game graphics of Landon Ibieta, for example, or Ja'Cory Brown or whoever. Looks really cool. I like what he does. I'm hyped. Quan is a talented player, but I'm hoping we can pair him with one of Gibson / Ibieta or Horton. I agree, man. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I think we're going to take 3 receivers total. I would like to take 3 because I am expecting someone in that receiver room to transfer, possibly 2. We don't know, but it would be good for us to pick up 3. And I love Quan. He's well-rounded, 6 foot, 180 pounds, excellent route runner. He's not a giant, but decent size at 6 feet. He can go up and get it. He's got really good speed, can get open. I like him, man. And yeah, that would be the dream trio right there. Gibson, Ibieta, and Quan. Very happy. Very, very happy. John, how many do you expect to commit after the cookout? I have my thoughts on that. I think we're gonna have 6. Right now we got 2. We got Ja'Cory, we got Quan. I think by the end of June, because there's the cookout on June 1st, and then there's a lot of visits coming June 11th, and I believe June 18th as well. There's some guys visiting. So by the end of the month, I'm thinking we'll have at least 6 commits. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, Manny is being very selective this year. Very, very selective. So if we land 6, those are 6 guys that we want in this class, really, really want. They're not just fill-in guys. Max, give me Quan, Ibieta, and one of Horton or Gibson. I agree, man. I really like Horton, but man, if we can get Gibson, that dude is what, 6'6", 230, 240. You know what? Let me look that up right now. Jaden Gibson. Hold, please. Jaden Gibson is 6'4". Wait, 6'4", 180. That can't be right. He's way bigger than that. I don't think that's updated. Anyway, Jaden Gibson is huge, is what I'm trying to say. He's a big target that I really want on this team. So would love Horton, very talented guy, out-of-state guy, but man, Gibson, that'd be nice. That reminds me of like when Lawrence Cager was here. You have that guy, you can just throw it up to him in the red zone and he can get it. I mean, we haven't had a red zone threat like that in a long time. That would be great. Love that we got Quan, but we just don't have the hype to get our recruiting rolling. Need a big name that pops soon, build momentum. I agree, and I was just going to ask you guys, who do you think is next? Because I have a couple theories. I think Wesley could be next. I'd be absolutely freaking ecstatic because that's the one guy that we need in this class. If I'll have a cookout for you. Listen, we got a month. We got a month, man. A month and a week. I think we could land 4 more guys, and it's going to be big names. Spells or Bassane? Spells, Bassane. I'm seeing Kamari Rogers with a smiley face. Okay, maybe maybe Max knows a little something. We'll see. Listen, Kamari Rogers. He's an out-of-state guy. He's out of Louisiana, but oh my God, is he talented! Wow, that's a future NFL player so far from what I see. Spells or Bassane, I'd be good with either one of those two. What about O-line? I think it could be one of those guys, a big defensive guy. I just want him to be a Cane. That's all. No intel. Hey, I want him to be a Cane too, but I like where we're at with him. Let's just say that. But let's see what else. Offense, we're either going to get one of those big names on defense, I think, or we get a big name at O-line. Maybe a Richardson, maybe Cam Williams, a Jacob Hood. Daughtry or Williams. Yeah, exactly. Daughtry, Richardson, or Cam Williams. Those guys are both bulldozers. They're both dogs. Those are guys that you watch them play. Not only are they huge, they play with that mean streak that I have not seen on this offensive line in a very, very long time. And I need to see 2 or 3 of those studs in this class. T2Y, what's going on, man? I can see Anderson and Lyons committing the first. Ooh, okay. That little package deal from Homestead High School, I believe they're from. Rogers has 2 visits set, first and the 18th. Yeah, Kamari Rogers. I really like where we're at with him. John, Nick Cole isn't rated. It isn't rated, is he? If Kamari Wilson wants to come. Let's see where not Kamari Wilson. Nick Cole. Oh, Nick Cole's rated. He's got it. That's another sleeper, man. Oh wow, okay. On the composite, maybe you guys can fill me in on what this means. The 247 composite doesn't have any stars, but 247 Sports has him as a 3-star. Number 46 player in the state of Georgia. Anyway, a lot of people really like him. I like his tape also. So Nick Cole is one of those under the radar guys I would not mind at all. I think he's going to start to blow up a little bit. How about we just have a solid season and turn Julian away from FSU? That'll work for me on the O-line. Listen, the same thing I said before, I'll do it for the O-line now. So who's out there at O-line? You got Williams. You got Armella. You got Jacob Hood. You got Richardson. And you got who else? There's Agbo. Is that his name? I might be getting his name wrong. There's the 5th guy. And of those 5, honestly, even without Armella, if we land 3 of those 5, maybe 4, I will be very, very happy. Agbo, that's his name. And Nelson's another one. So right there, that's 6 guys. You land 3 of them. I'm pretty happy. 4, very happy. And if one of those 4 is Armella, I'm good. I'm more than satisfied. But even honestly, those guys are so good, and they have the kind of mentality we need in the trenches right now. You know what? If they move on from Armella, I wouldn't be too pissed. But Armella's a blue chip guy. I could see him could go on to play in the NFL, be a high draft pick. I would love him on this team, obviously. But I'm just saying, if we don't get him, not the end of the world. Any word from DB from Louisiana? Are you referring to Kamari Rogers? Nothing yet. I know Max was just telling me that maybe he's the next commit, but that's not intel based. That's just we want him on this team. The dream would be Williams, Ogbo, Richardson, and Armella. Yes. We're probably going to take about 4 offensive linemen around that. Rogers, he is from Mississippi. My bad. See, I need to find a co-host or someone to help me with this. Yes, Rogers is Mississippi. You are correct. Number 1 player in Mississippi overall. And the DB from Louisiana is Jordan Allen. You're right. I think that's Jordan Allen. No word from him recently. I know he was really hot on Miami for a little bit, but now you're starting to see edits and stuff for other teams. I'm not sure. I think we're at a pretty good spot for him. I don't know if you guys saw his clip on Twitter. He was power cleaning 200 something pounds, literally just power cleaned it up to his chest, squatted and stood back up. I mean, that's insane for a guy his size. You usually see much bigger guys doing that. His strength is just insane. What's going on, man? What's good? Driving home, listen to the show. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad I can offer some entertainment. By the way, I sent you the link. If you want to hop on your phone, please feel free. I think the portal offensive line Justice. That is true. Okay, that is true. We did just pick up Justice. Am I saying his name right? Oluwasu. By the way, I apologize. I spilled a bunch of water here. I don't know if you noticed. I think that was off camera. Justice Oluwasu, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's the transfer that just committed from UNLV. He should be eligible to play this year. And that takes away from what he's saying is counting against our numbers for next year. Is instead of having 4 next year, that'll count against us. So we'll probably bring in 3 now that we have this dude. So Old Kane, I think Justice starts at center. You think he wins the job over Corey Gaynor? You think listen, I'm all for a newcomer or a younger guy outplaying the guy that's been with the program for 3 years, because you got to kind of raise the floor in that way. Justice definitely raises the floor. That's for you, Flo. I drove in Miami once, never again. Where are you from, Terry? Curious. Yeah, man. You know what? They were saying Ja'Kai Clark may be the guy to jump Corey Gaynor before his injury. So maybe Justice is that guy. Justice plays every position on the O-line. I don't know if you guys were aware. He plays tackle, guard, and center, which is fantastic because you need that Swiss Army knife in case somebody goes down with an injury. Clark was that guy before. But, we had to – okay, I'll hop on an 8er. Sweet. Awesome. We'll be here, man. Where was I? Javier, him or Clark for center in 22? Yeah. I'm not sure how much longer Clark is going to be out, Old Kane. He should be back for the season at some point. I don't think he's going to miss the season completely. But, it could be Justice leapfrogging Corey Gaynor. Corey Gaynor's been, in my opinion, okay. He's been fine. He hasn't been anything out of this world. He's just steady and, reliable as far as because you got to remember the center's not just the blocker. He makes sure everybody's lined up. He helps the quarterback, with signals and stuff. He does a lot of things. He's kind of the brain of the offensive line. So maybe Corey Gaynor does a lot of things that we don't see on film very well. So it's very hard for a coach to just see a young man that blocks well and is like, oh, he's the starter now. It's not that simple. So, but maybe he does. He's experienced. This is his 4th or 5th year in college coming in to the now coming into a new program. So we'll see. Ja'Kai doing well. That is good to hear. That is good to hear. I want depth on the O-line. That's important. Our coaches would start. Listen, man, I'm really hoping that seniority thing is starting to come to an end. Little by little. I don't think it's going to go away completely. We were just talking about this with Flo on Sunday that he sees Avante Williams starting game 1. That would be great. Not because I have anything against Gervin Hall, but Gervin kind of dropped off last year. And if a dude is that good that can just step in as a redshirt freshman and leapfrog a senior, awesome. That means he's that good and he's ready to play. Put him in. But our coaches haven't shown the want to do that, so let's see what happens. The problem with younger talent of all is Manny's love for yeah, I was just saying that. And again, with center and also with safety, with signals and making sure everybody's lined up, it's tough. It's tough, man, for a freshman to just step in. But they say Avante is that good. And we saw flashes of it more than flashes, the entire spring game. He played his ass off. Do you see the vid of Justice squatting 675? That was pretty sick. My body just broke completely trying that. Please don't try it, Bergie. Please, nobody on this chat try that. Yeah, no, Justice is a freak, man. I'm glad we got him. He adds some much needed experience, and like I said, he raises the floor of the offensive line. Let's see what else we got here. Thoughts on safety from Virginia taking an official visit to Miami. Oh, man, you're going to have to help me out with the name. Safety from Virginia. Maybe Max knows. He probably knows off the top of his head. But listen, just in general, guys taking visits from other states, this is one of those years where, again, it's a combination of things. There are a lot of talented young men out there in other states. Sherrod Colville, thank you. Yep, and Flo, both chiming in. Thank you, guys. Sherrod Colville. So, yeah, just my thoughts on this stuff in general of guys visiting from out of state. I know the old adage is, just rope off the state of Miami and you'll win championships. Recruiting has changed, guys. There's talent everywhere. Becoming a national brand, I think, is a goal of Manny's, and it's not a bad goal. It's something that Larry Coker tried to do back in the day, and it backfired on him, but it backfired on him for different reasons. He did not have the right culture in place, I thought, once his leaders left. The Vilmas and the Sean Taylors and the DJs, that was kind of it. The culture, the heart of the team was pretty much gone. So I don't think it's a bad thing. Ed Reed wasn't from here. Jeremy Shockey wasn't from here. Brian McKinney, I don't think, was from Florida. So, if top-end talent wants to visit, please, by all means, visit. Do you think Lashley has control over offense, who starts, et cetera, now that Manny's team? I think Coach Lashley has had a lot of input in that. I think he has. I honestly don't think that Manny gives too much. Ever since he brought in Rhett Lashley, I don't think he's had too much input on the offense. I think Lashley is he's just pretty much taking the keys and he's behind the wheel of that thing. So I think he's more in control of who starts than you think. But I'm more concerned on defense actually than offense as far as who's going to start, because at this point it's painfully obvious that certain guys just weren't cutting it. There's talent coming in and they're going to get playing time. And I'm talking about wide receiver. I'm talking about not so much running back, more wide receiver. Sherrod Colville. Do you think we take a running back in this class? That's a good question. I don't think we do, because remember, we kind of did already with Cody Brown. Okay, so that even though it's gonna count against next year, but he's a guy that's going to be playing right away. He's going to add to the depth. Just pulling up Cody Brown's stats here. Yeah, another 4-star. You have 5 4-star running backs in this running back room right now. So, and a lot of these guys have years of eligibility. Cody Brown has a few years left, like 3 or more. Thad Franklin's a true freshman. Don Chaney is what they call a super freshman because remember last year didn't count. And you got Cam Harris, who's a senior. So you got a lot of young guys, and you got five blue chip recruits in the running back room. So I don't think you need a running back in this class. I just think you focus on other positions, O-line, linebacker, corner, positions of need. So to answer your question, Sofa Kincaid, I don't think we take a running back. No. We basically already did with Cody Brown. Sigmund, what is your take on the defensive tackle from Georgia coming on a visit? Man, you guys are more on top of this than I am. Maybe we can get Flo's thoughts in a little bit. He's the recruiting guru, at least more than I am. All top-end talent in South Florida wants to play in the SEC. We have to recruit nationwide. That's an excellent point, Terry, because there's the top end guys in South Florida, the Kenyatta Jacksons, the Shamar Stewarts. Those are 5-star guys that Armella, another one. Those are 5-star guys that may go SEC, or in Armella's place I hope for his sake he doesn't, but may go to FSU. That's where his dad played, and they're showing him a lot of love right now. And he would get playing time right away. So, it's like I said, it's a unique situation because this year there's not a ton of top-end talent in South Florida, but the ones that are, it's like super 5-star that are probably going to go SEC. Kamari Wilson, another one. So, yeah, we got to expand our search this year more than ever. Next year, South Florida, loaded. Absolutely loaded. Like, to the point that there's spillover. We're just going to get a couple of 5-stars because there's just too many, I hope. Quentel Jones. Yes. I'm sort of familiar with him. You know what? I've been doing it the whole cast. Let's look up him. Quentel. Sorry, if you guys find this annoying, please tell me. Quentel Jones, defensive tackle. Let's see. 6'3", 285. A 3-star recruit. Yeah, listen, again, if you're a talented player that can help this program, I don't mind it where you're visiting from. I don't care if you're visiting from Hawaii or whatever. Nobody thinks Hunter will decommit. He's a lock. Yes. Yeah, Travis, that was to answer this question. Do you really think Travis Hunter will decommit and come to Coral Gables? I never thought he was going to come to Coral Gables, honestly. What I thought maybe when he first committed was like, he's probably going to go SEC at some point. That's what I thought. Travis Hunter is a stud. But I have found out, in the recent weeks that he is very much an FSU fan. He loves FSU. Very likely he's going kind of like back in the day when we got Duke Johnson. It's there wasn't anything we could do to turn him away. Duke Johnson was going to be a Cane no matter what, and that was during a very mediocre to bad time for the program. And he still came. Number 1 running back in, I think, the country, or close to it. Hunter wants to play at his dream school. Yep, I agree. Wishful thinking. Yep. I mean, it would be amazing, but again, corner's so deep and DB is so deep. We're gonna land some studs, with or without a guy like Hunter. Keep your Twitter, John. Okay. Let's see. Jones seems to be a Tennessee-Miami battle. Let's see. What's up, Canes Blog? You doing all right? I'm doing good, man. Demetrius, how you doing? How's everything going? By the way, guys, 46 people in the chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's see if I'm going to be on probably like another half hour or so. So please, let's fill this chat up more. Let's get talking some Canes. Again, now that there's probably fresh people on the chat, because I know I do this at 7 Eastern time. Some of you guys are West Coast. Some of you guys are Central time. A lot of you probably getting out of work now. So if you just joined the chat, please chime in, say what's up. Let me know. How are you feeling about the Quan Lee commit? Are you feeling a little relief now that we got that second guy finally? Or are you like, I need to see some more. You're not impressed. Do you like Quan Lee? Have you seen his tape? Let's see. Hunter is very infectious. A lot of kids want to play with him at the next level. He's a good player, man. He's a good player. What do you think about Michael Redding? Michael Redding was a guy that I was very excited about last year. There was the class of, it was three receivers that we took, 3 or 4. It was Michael Redding, Xavier Restrepo, Keyshawn Smith, and forgetting if there was a 4th guy, but Michael Redding physically, if you look at him, he was the guy I was excited about the most initially. But he's dealt with a lot, man. Some injuries, he had COVID pretty bad. He was one of the guys that got hit pretty hard with it from what I hear, and he was out for a while. He was just dealing with a lot of things, and now he's nicked up again. He got hit pretty hard in the spring game at Keyshawn Washington. So unfortunate, but I love his size. I think he brings a good skill set to the team. If he can all of a sudden get healthy and stay healthy, that would be great. That would be great and really help our depth. Maybe we wouldn't need to take 3 receivers if all of a sudden Michael Redding gets healthy. Jeremiah Payton, he's a little behind right now. Let's just say that he's a little behind. Randy Noel, I think the OSU CB commit from Jacksonville area, Stingland spelling flips. I doubt it. I mean, Ohio State does not, just in general, Ohio State does not lose a lot of guys. That's just my opinion. Let's see. Bergie, the more will come in June, still early. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. We got plenty of time. Oh, Max. Phil DeCane, do you think we bring any more guys from the transfer portal? Yes. Good question. So Coach Diaz has stated already that he plans to use up to 4 or 5 spots in this upcoming class for the transfer portal. What does that mean? So the NCAA rule for next year is that everyone can take up to 25 commits, up to 25 players in this coming cycle. You don't have to use all 25 slots on high school guys. You can use a bunch on transfer portal guys if you want, but it counts against you. So if they do that, let's say they take 5 portal guys, they already got 1 in Justice Oluwasu. Again, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, please let me know. I want to pronounce it right. If you take him, okay, that counts against, now you got 24 slots left for high school guys. If you take 5 portal guys, you have 20 spots left for high school guys. But the good thing, there's pros and cons. The good thing is those guys can play right away. They can come in and play this year, maybe if they're eligible. Or, the con is they might be a rental. You might have them for a year, or they say, oh yeah, Coach Manny, I'm going to come play for 2 years. But then they have an amazing year and they're like, you know what? I'm out. See ya. And then we just lost another guy and then we got to fill it in. So, but Manny wants to use up to 5 guys maybe and to help the team right now because he's very serious about winning this year. Remember, his job is on the line. So we will definitely be getting more portal guys. Definitely a linebacker. I'm not buying for a second that Manny is good with who we got, and we're just going to ride with that. I think he's waiting for the right guy, in his opinion. I know a lot of people liked Jawan Mitchell, but there was, some issues there behind the scenes, or some things they didn't see eye to eye on. I think one of them was that Mitchell just wants to play 1 year and he was out. Manny wants a guy that plays for a couple of years. And then the next dude, I'm blanking on his name, Dimitri Moore. Dimitri Moore, very talented, thought he was a great fit. He still had a couple years of eligibility, but, they went a separate way. I think there will be a guy. We will be adding a transfer linebacker at some point in this offseason. That's just my gut and just my experience as a Canes fan. I think we're landing at least one. We almost have to. We're so thin there. I think we still might get Isaiah Bond. I would love that. But, we got Quan Lee, and there's a bunch of other guys that if we get, I would be happy with. But More speed is never a bad thing. You cannot have too much speed. We aren't hearing more about Isaiah Wee. Who was that? Oh, Isaiah Walker. Sorry, I didn't read your next comment. Isaiah Walker. Why aren't we hearing more about Isaiah Walker? So I think Isaiah Walker just needs a little bit more time. Add strength and get used to gelling and playing with the other guys, things like that. I think he's just a little bit behind, but he's still very talented. I think next year is when you're going to see him making more of an impact. But, he's a couple injuries away from playing, so he needs to be ready. I think they got justice because Clark's injury is more serious than expected. Well, from what I'm hearing, and Max confirmed it earlier, that Jakai's doing all right, meaning, he's on schedule. He should be able to play this year, hopefully. Maybe he misses a couple games, but it's definitely I'm sure it's serious enough that he will miss some time in the offseason in the summer and maybe early fall. But I think he will play this year. Ohio State doesn't have T-Rob. It's a good point. Remember, guys, we got some elite recruiters on this staff between T-Rob, Ish, DVD has more of a role now. It's, yeah. Did you see the walk-on in Alabama cooking? Yes. Josh Lanier. Yes, I heard about this. We talked about it on Sunday on our show. I did see the tape. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. I did see the tape. It looks impressive, especially his ability to go up and get the ball. My God, the dude is a possession receiver for sure, but he's got moves. He can get open. But it seemed like a couple of those clips, especially early on in the highlight, they were kind of hamming it up a little bit, like the corners would, slip and just fall on the ground or whatever. It was like a little exaggerated on a couple of them. I was like, come on. He didn't break your ankles that bad. That's the feeling. That was my gut when I first saw it. But then as I saw more and more, I'm like, oh, no, this guy can play. This guy can play. But we were talking about it on Sunday. Like, why is he leaving the program if he's that good? If he's just shaking dudes and getting open whenever he wants. I mean, these are Alabama. Even if it's Alabama practice squad guys, I mean, there's talent there too. He's beating some talented players. So what's up there? What's going on? Let's see what else. FSU, Kelly's mom is definitely playing a major role in his recruitment. That's what I hear. That's what I hear, sir. So honestly, I thought Nigel E. Kelly, as soon as he decommitted, was going to be heading straight for Miami. As soon as that decommit happened, I thought he was like the next week going to say he was coming here. But I think it's, he's going through the recruitment. He's enjoying the process as he should. And, so we're going to have to be patient on that one. But Nigel E. Kelly, he's in play. He's absolutely in play. Freaking Goon, freshman receivers are probably passing him up. Speaking of Josh Lanier, yeah, maybe. But I'm just thinking a guy that looks that good on tape, a walk-on, no less, and nobody's really showing any interest. I don't know. Raises a red flag in my opinion. Like what else is going on there? I don't think we'll probably get the whole story soon. But yeah. So I'll be on like 20 more minutes or so. So maybe 15, 20 more minutes. So please, guys, if you have any questions, throw them at me. Again, how are we feeling today? Your reaction to the Quan Lee commit. Who do you think is next? Do you think it's Wesley? Do you think it's Kamari Rogers? Do you think they're all kind of waiting for the barbecue to happen and maybe after that? Let me know. Who do you think is a surprise? I know somebody was saying, was it Randy? Let me see if I can find it. Somebody was saying that they see Isaiah Bond flipping. I would love that. That'd be great. But let me know. What do you think are some surprises we might see in recruiting in the next couple of months? Kelly at the cookout. Good question. I will find out. I will find out for you. I'm sure Flo will be able to tell me, or Max in the chat or something. I think he's visiting at some point in June. I don't know if he's going to the cookout. I want to say yes, Yes, he is. Okay, yeah. I felt like he was. Didn't Bama sign 27 kids and add 2 more in the portal? They probably have no ships for walk-ons. Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, I don't know how they're able to do it, but Chris on his Canes Legacy show on I think it was Sunday said it perfectly. It's like, who cares how they're doing it? The fact is they're doing it, and we got to figure out how to kind of do the same thing, because obviously, they find little loopholes and ways to do that. If you want to catch up, you got to do the same thing. He made a highlight tape and bounced. Yeah, that again, I kind of thought the way he was getting open and just sitting corners on their butts, and like corners were slipping and sliding all over the place trying to cover them. I'm like, come on. I don't know. I thought that was a little weird, at least early on in the highlight tape. Anthony, what's good, man? What's going on? Welcome. But yes, so we got Quan Lee. Ja'Cory Brown has a shiny new toy to throw to in this class. So tell me, who else do you think is who's next? I want to say it's going to be one of these big-time defensive guys or one of these offensive linemen, and that's just going to create more of a snowball effect. But I think it's going to be after the cookout. I think they'll start flowing in the next week or two. But big month in Canes recruiting coming. I mean, I think, let's see, the Saint is next. Your lips to God's ears. The guy I need to have on defense, that's the dude. I mean, that dude is a flat-out stud. How would you feel about us going after Eric Gilbert, who's in the portal? Eric Gilbert was that tight end, correct? Eric Gilbert. Let's look up his 247 real quick here. Yeah, he's that tight end from LSU. That's right. That he was going to go to Florida, and then that all of a sudden didn't happen. He was the number 1 tight end in the country, number 5 overall player in the 2020 class. Yeah, in the 2020 class. Played 1 year at LSU and just bounced, and was going to go to Florida, but that never happened. Tight end is a position that, when healthy, I feel like we're good. But that's an interesting thing. Right now, the only healthy tight end on this staff, on this team, is Khalil Brantley, who just joined the team. Maybe Elijah Arroyo has joined the team. I'm not sure if he has yet, but I remember a few weeks back, Khalil Brantley arrived, and we were joking. He's the only healthy tight end on the team right now. The rest is walk-ons. Everybody's nicked up. It's not serious injuries, but a lot of guys are nicked up. So I've always thought, yeah, that is maybe consider taking a tight end in the portal, maybe just to be safe, just for numbers, just to have an experienced guy in there. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Eric Gilbert, I mean, that's the number 1 guy. You have him. You have Will Mallory. Whew. That's gross. That's disgusting right there. That'd be nasty. I'd be very, very okay with that. To answer your question, Supreme. Let's see. The Saint is next. Who do you think will be the first to sign BBQ? What's your best player? It's Wesley. It's Wesley all the way there. Wesley going to the cookout, then FSU for a couple days. Yeah, I think the best player available that we need to go get is Wesley. And hold on, someone just joined. What's going on, man?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
Not much, man. We're chat's getting going. We're here talking some recruiting, obviously the Quan Lee news. By the way, I'm curious. How do you feel? Are you like super relieved of the fact that, okay, we finally got that second guy? The monkey's kind of off our back now. They're going to start rolling in, or are you like, still need to see more? How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to start more dominoes, right? We like them dominoes. What's good, everybody in the chat? What's up, Javi, Anthony, Bergie? What's good? And I'll give you all a little news. I don't know if you guys know this. I'll drop it on John's show right now if you haven't.
Tell me.
But the guy you just asked me about is about to be on Canes Insight in about an hour.
All right.
And
Very nice.
they got a couple other guys you guys got to go check out. So when John is done killing it on his show, I think tonight you may want to go tune into the Canes Inside Show with Brad and Chris because they're going to have Quan Lee on, and I'm not going to ruin it. There's a couple other, yes, but Quan Lee, the day he commits on the Canes show, that's fuego. That's mucho fuego.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, anytime you get to start off, what's up, Supreme Goon? Dimitri, what's good? Les. I mean, it feels great, doesn't it? Like to go, okay. And then we know what's coming next week, right? So I feel good about it. I feel really good about it. He's a dog. You know what I mean? He's a dog.
Yeah, man. No, absolutely. If you saw like his Twitter posts recently and all that stuff, his social media, the dude definitely has a chip on his shoulder. And that's what Butch Davis back in the late 90s would look for. It's like, yeah, I want you to be talented, obviously, but he looked for guys that had a chip on their shoulder, that had something to prove.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of that old school Miami mentality. Mm-hmm. I'm just excited that I got a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little nervous. The last like 2 days that he's been messing around, putting some West Virginia stuff up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, if this dude picks West Virginia over us, I'm gonna be salty, and I'm not gonna like him. But he put the cane hat on, and it's all good, man. We're ready to roll.
Absolutely, man. So. Who do you think is next? I was asking in the chat that a lot of people are saying Wesley, a lot of people saying, Kamari Rogers, and, throwing out a bunch of names. Who do you think is next?
Yeah, man. See, depends who you talk to, right? Some people think it's Kamari. Some people feel really good about Wesley. I mean, you guys all know Wesley's the guy that I think we can't miss on, in my opinion. But my gut tells me it's going to be an offensive lineman. I have no intel on that. It's just, I think Coach Justice has been working really, really. I mean, he's grinding behind the scenes right now. Every O-line that you talk to, that prospect we're dealing with, he 100%. They always say, I have a great relationship with Coach Justice. I'm excited, Mm-hmm. It's important that you understand that those big dudes overall really look at a guy that can develop. Because remember, offensive line, more than any other position, in my opinion, well, except quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Is a developmental thing, because in high school, a lot of these big dogs are pushing guys around because they're just bigger, right? Once you get to the D1 level, the Power 5, where we play, ACC play and other out of conference like the Bamas and stuff like that, the DN that's rushing is 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 250, 260. And so it's not like in high school where these boys are just picking boys up and just going like this, right? So Coach Justice has shown that he can take that line a little bit up, even with the COVID year. So I think that, I don't know, I look out for some names like Leighton Nelson and Dottie Richardson, maybe, but I don't have any intel on that. So don't say, Flo, you said this would be our next commit. I've heard Kamari Rogers. I've heard Wesley. I've heard Spells. These are things that people are telling me, hey, this guy's going to commit. But, it's a lot of smoke right now.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple guys in this class that the second we land them, we will have beers and celebrate. Wesley's one of them.
I mean, look, every class I always have a favorite dude, right? And it's usually not like the best prospect. It's like one of the dudes, like last year, everybody knew Leonard Taylor and James Williams, 5 stars. I was a Romello Brinson guy, right? Mm-hmm. Year before, I loved Devontae, right? This class, it happens to be the baddest cat. I think Wesley is the dude, and I think Spells is. But those two guys are must gets. And right now, today, Miami sits in a good spot with them.
Nice. To answer, so here's Bergie's question: who's the most realistic option for an impact linebacker from the portal step in right now? What have you been hearing lately? Because it's from what I hear, it's been a little quiet ever since the whole Dimitri Moore thing.
So as we know, and I think everybody in the chat can agree, Manny moves in silence, right? He's like a contract killer. You don't know you died until you're dead. At the end of the day, in the portal right now, I not out of a Power 5 like a big school. I don't like anybody that's in there. There's a couple of JUCO guys and guys that play at the Group of 5 that got great numbers, but every report that's coming out and everything that we've heard is that Manny wants a linebacker that's here more than 1 year. Mm-hmm. Or else he would have took Mitchell or he would have took Dimitri, So that I don't know what conversations are happening behind the scenes. As far as like, are they finding out who's going to stay 2 years? Is that what they want? I don't know, because right now everything that's coming out of camp is they're getting ready to fire up for next week. But getting Justice was huge. That O line we got, that was huge. The UNLV dude, that was massive for us.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, what's his last name? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you all know me. I butcher everybody's name. You trying to Osama your mama. Mama say Mama Sama Makusa. That's his name.
I want to say it's Oluwasu. I want to say that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong, and I'm usually good with those.
As I told you on Sunday, I'm smart because I hang out with people that are smarter than me. So that's why I roll with you, dude.
Let's see. There was a question. I freaking lost it. Where was it? Oh, thoughts on, I was not aware of this. Thoughts on that clip of Quan Lee against Travis Hunter. Are you familiar with what he's talking about?
Yeah. So look, let me just, how do I say this? I think Travis Hunter is a freak. Guys, Travis Hunter is a freak. I just want to go out and say that. I know he's an FSU dude. He's a flat out freak. There are some 7-on-7 stuff that's out that Quan Lee does a little something to him, and then, a couple routes, get a little separation, whatever. I'm not going to trash Travis Hunter because that's a bad man right there. Yeah. But Quan Lee, was like, I'm here. And I think it's great because if it plays out the way it is, Quan Lee will be a wide receiver at Miami, and Hunter's going to be over where. I don't know if Hunter sticks, because if FSU doesn't win 6-7 games, they're going to lose half that class. Let's just be realistic right now. They could throw parties right now. We're the number one class and this and that. Let's see where you're at in late November.
Oh, yeah. No, very true. Very true. I feel like after the Notre Dame game, they might lose a couple guys. But remember when we were coming off a 7-6 or 6-6 year with Al Golden, his first year, and he still gets Duke Johnson because Duke Johnson just grew up a Cane fan. He was coming here regardless. He didn't care. So
I'll say this. This is my honest opinion without nobody telling me nothing. The problems that FSU had were culture and issues inside the program.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we had that kind of issue where there was some racism problems. There was people completely rebelling against the whole entire coaching staff, player meetings about players quitting. Like, we weren't very good, but we held on to a class. I agree with that. I think this is a different dynamic. Florida State is literally putting all their eggs right now into the recruit, like everything they can. They're throwing out recruiting. You see within the transfer portal, they're about to get a 9 or 10th guy out of the portal right now. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to do something quick because they know if this year they're not competitive, all the wheels. You think the wheels fell off last year? They could just say it was COVID. That's what they're saying. Oh, it was COVID. We didn't get a chance to install and put our culture in it. Okay. If they bust out with 4 or 5 wins, which they have a tough schedule, it's possible they only win 4 or 5 games. Half that class is outie. I'm just letting y'all know.
Likely. So check this out. Takeover tonight only. Canes Insight Live. Amon Richards.
Yep.
Will be on the show. Along with Curry Brown.
Yep.
And Quan Lee. And Leighton Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
And Colin Hurley.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with Colin Hurley, I know a lot of you in the chat probably are because you're Canes junkies like we are. Colin Hurley is in 8th grade, correct?
I think he is going in. Well, he's 25. What is that? He's class of 25. So whatever it is, that is. Don't ask me what grade. I know he's class of 25.
Class of 2022. They're juniors right now. They're finishing their junior year. So let's count.
They're going into their. Yeah, you're right. Hey, FSU Rose. I wouldn't be too happy, too excited about that because I'm telling you, y'all win 4 or 5 games, and look, I'm just shooting you straight. Hunter legacy, all you want, he ain't gonna go there if y'all win 4 or 5 games. No way. Y'all win 6 or 7, you keep him, and he's nice.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So that's cool. Yeah. So that answers my question. I guess he's finishing 8th grade now. Will be a freshman in high school in August. Colin Hurley is a phenom. He's 13, 14 years old and was the main guy who kind of helped orchestrate the that visit of Ja'Cory Brown to Miami with Isaiah Bond, that they took a tour of the city and talked to the mayor and all that stuff. He helped orchestrate that. So very good. All good things.
Yeah, no, I mean that show's gonna be hot. I knew those other guys. I just dropped the Quan Lee because I think that's who's hotter than Quan Lee right now. I'm just saying, that's so awesome. They get him on the show the same day he commits. That's fire. That's fuego all over the place.
LeBurgie Pratt is dropping bags. I don't know about that. Nah, he's just good at getting guests. Flo, he told me the other day, I'm smart. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Then why do you roll with me, Flo?
No, Max is smart, bro. Max is really smart at the end of the day. Hey, so what's up with that? What, we're going to talk about your show next week or what?
Yes, that's part of the reason I wanted you on. So before we log off in the next few minutes, I want to have you on because I did mention it last week on my show, but then we discussed, it's like, nah, maybe we should push it to after the cookout. Since I'm close to 1,000 subs, I'm almost there. By the way, if you're in the chat, you haven't subbed, please take a quick second, hit the sub button. Free, costs you nothing, and it takes literally 1 second. Just click the button. Getting to 1,000 subs, obviously on YouTube, it's a big deal for many things because like StreamYard and YouTube all of a sudden unlocks all these different features when you hit 1,000. So it's cool. It's a cool milestone to hit, and I'm hoping that by next week maybe we can do a show that while I'm on live, I hit 1,000, and then I'll be watching it, and it'll be like to kind of celebrate and be watching it. So I wanted to do that, and then have you on, have a bunch of other guests on, and that's what my plan was. Flo and I were talking about that behind the scenes during the week, so I feel like next week would be a good time to do that. So what do you think about that?
I think there's some echo right now. You guys hear me?
I heard a tiny echo, but it went away.
All right. I know my wife's on the phone in the room. Real quick, it's a hype show next week. I mean, everyone who comes on, you got to put a thumbs up in the chat if you're already subbed. If you're not, you got to sub and then put a thumbs up. Let's help this man get to 1,000 so he can unlock more programs and then bring more content. You all know John brings that fire. He's my co-host. I think he's the best co-host. I'm always gonna ride with him. So next week, man, we're gonna try to really push that show. At the end of the day, let's hype it up. Let's pump it up. That's the way we can do it. It helps him, which ends up helping you guys at the end of the day. I know when I hit 1,000 subs, it took me like a week to learn all the stuff they got unlocked. Like real talk. I mean, I'm a little slow with the text. Like next week's fire too, guys. Remember, next week, June 1st, June 2nd, so we're gonna have content and news dropping like
Absolutely.
all day, all night. There's gonna be fire next week. I know other shows. I think CANES breakdown is gonna do a roundtable. Don't quote me on that. I think I heard Max saying that. John's gonna do the sub show. We won't talk about mine on Friday. I got some crazy stuff happening on Friday, but we'll get to mine after we get through the week with everybody else. But I think we all got to support each other, right? You guys are all killers in that chat. I see you guys in all in the shows. We got to get him to 1,000. That way we can unlock all the goodies, right?
Awesome, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. And I know you always say I'm a great co-host. You're a much better hype man than I am. So I know that's one of your strengths. So
let's go.
So I appreciate that. How long is the show next week? I mean, I never want to run into Kane's Insight, so I'm probably going to go an hour and a half. Hour and 40 minutes maybe, but we'll reach out to some people. We'll have some guests on. It should be a good time. Have like our own little round table kind of thing. And next week's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited, bro, because it ain't going to be like we're going to have to go study for some content. Content's going to be falling out of the trees next week, man. There's going to be.
I mean, we just had a little morsel of content, like morsel of news come our way. We got to commit. I was able to do an hour show on that. So imagine next week. What do you think, before we go, what's your prediction by the end of the month of June, after all the visits, the cookouts, all that stuff? Where do you think we'll be at as far as number of commitments? I still think it'll be 6. I'm going to stick with my prediction from before. What do you think? Has yours changed at all?
I mean, again, if I believe I have sources like I think I have sources, and they're telling me the truth, we might have 7 or 8 commits at the end of June because the block is hot right now. Meaning like the coaches, from what I understand, there's a few guys that already wanted to commit, but Miami didn't give them the green light. They want to do the face to face, and I think Miami's going to start giving some green lights. So we're going to find out quick because I think once it starts dropping, it's going to be a domino effect. And if you guys don't know, one of the guys that's going to be on the Canes Inside Show tonight, Ja'Cory Brown, he is doing a really good job recruiting behind the scenes. I'm finding out every day about guys he's building relationships with that haven't committed to us yet. And I can't mention their name, obviously, right? But when I can, I will. I'll tell y'all real quick. But he's talking to some guys that we like, and they're already building relationships behind the scenes, which you guys know. When the quarterback's leading, they coming. Because everybody, who's going to be the quarterback? And it's not like we don't got 2 good young quarterbacks already. But then you bring Ja'Cory in. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, it's always a little different when that ambassador for the class, that one guy that's helping the coaches recruit more players. It's different when it's the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Randy said,
Yeah,
Flo, would you hype cleaning the toilet? Hey, man, I just get excited, bro. I don't really – my days I work. I love my wife, see my kids, and then I can't wait to get and talk some Kane stuff, man. I really, really enjoy this. I started doing it as a hobby. Now I like it. I get to meet – I met guys like John, and you guys all know. All y'all in the chat. Why not hype it up, right?
Absolutely, man. I agree. So yeah, a lot of people are saying 7, 5, 6. Yeah, I think we're all around the same. If it's 7 or 8, man, that'd be awesome. I'd be quite ecstatic. But yeah, man, I'm excited for the Canes Insight Show now. I want to hear Ja'Cory here, and then Leighton Nelson, who's not part of the class yet, to be on with those guys. That's gonna be nice. Let's see, Hunter definitely hitting the portal after year 1.
Listen. He's too good, and this is no disrespect to FSU, bro. Like none. He's just too good to go to a place that's burning. Like if they show some signs this year, and they go 500, I think he sticks. And I think a couple of guys stick. To be honest with you, dude, if they go 6-6 or 6-7, that's a huge jump for them right now because their team is a dumpster fire, right? I like Hunter a lot, and I think FSU's been making really, really good moves in the portal. I'm on record, and y'all come after me when I say, hey, they might be competitive. Then I saw the spring game, and I was like, hey, they didn't look so hot in the spring game. But if you listen to the experts, they're thinking Florida State's going to they're going to be competitive this year. They keep plugging holes through the portal right now. Mm-hmm. Now, can they put it together? I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. But all right, we're close to that hour and 20-minute mark. I think that's good. Anything you want to add, man?
No, just it's exciting. We got Quan Lee. We got a lot of stuff coming for y'all. Like I'm talking to a lot of people today, and everybody that I know that has a YouTube channel is trying to get stuff together because they know a bunch is going to drop, so they're trying to get organized and things like that. So again, as you guys know, next week, everybody in that Canes network is going to be trying to do stuff. Make sure we help John next week to get to that 1,000, and tune in. I mean, at the end of the day, you're like me. What else we got to do in the evening? Let's all we can just talk Canes and chill out, right? Do what you enjoy, Flo. Life is short. Real talk, Terry. Real talk, man. This is no stress right here. No stress. We just chopping it up.
Love it. All right, man. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes to hop on, man. Really appreciate it. Help me hype up next week. Please tune in next week. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Yeah, man. Let's help me get to 1,000. It's gonna be a good show. I'm gonna try to get as many guests as I can. Should be a good one, man. But I appreciate you coming on. As always, all about the U. Go Canes.
Go Canes.